not heard, not seen, not held. Yeah, the whole package. Whatever you feel, whatever you want to achieve has to be giving way to the profit generation business. And so it doesn't matter you are sick, it doesn't matter your boy is sick, your mother is sick. The product has to be launched next Monday. And period. We don't miss deadline, period. And yeah, that's their culture. I just see things from a new perspective. And I just keep reviewing whatever I take for granted, what my strong beliefs, are they still true or not? Some stay, some didn't. That's the new reality. And it also drove me to quit my job because I came to the epiphany that there are so many ways to live, and doing the great job, making the most amount of money, supporting your family for luxury stuff are not the only way. It's just one of the ways. I don't want to fulfill their vision. I want to fulfill my own vision.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Kelly Talks Brand. In this podcast series, Tea with Kelly is where we talk about wellness, growth, and personal branding. Your subscription really helped me produce more content like this. Thank you for being part of the journey. Hi, Thomas. Welcome to the show. For people that don't know you, do you mind introduce yourself?
Thanks for having me, Kelly. Yeah, my name is Thomas. I am a YouTuber slash life coach. That's what I'm currently doing. I came to Canada, Toronto, like 2 years ago, and I worked in a active research firm for a year and change, and now I'm in the wild. Yeah,
In the wild.
Yeah.
You moved from Hong Kong to Toronto about 2 years ago.
Yeah. I went to college in Hong Kong. After that, I worked in Hong Kong like 7 years.
Okay. So, and you worked for like about a year in Toronto. Then you decided, I'm not going to do that. Then just do your own thing.
Yeah, I think one lesson I learned from my previous boss is sometimes some people are in your life to teach you a lesson, right? Some of the people are in your life to support you, to love you, but some of them are just kind of a teacher to you, to let you know that you are who you are. For me personally, I don't want to be a tool or a machine in that system.
Right.
I don't want to fulfill their vision. I want to fulfill my own vision. Yeah.
Does it mean that you feel like you were not heard from the previous position you were at? Like whatever you wanted, the company or the team wasn't supporting that?
Yeah, definitely not heard, not seen, not held. Yeah, the whole package.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, the whole package. It was a results slash profit driven firm. So whatever you feel, whatever you want to achieve has to be giving way to the profit generation business. And so it doesn't matter you are sick, it doesn't matter your boy is sick, your mother is sick. The product has to be launched next Monday. And period. We don't miss deadline, period. And yeah, that's their culture.
I guess, deadline depends on the industry. Sometimes it is a deadline you have to match, but I'm sorry to hear that they don't consider how you feel in the process. They don't really take care of the employees because in the end, it's the people that really make the difference in the company.
Yeah, I think I don't want to go to make my
previous boss.
Yeah, I don't want to make my critics too public, but I think it's like employee-owned firm. So
it's employee-owned firm.
Yeah, so some of the equity are owned by senior management. So I understand why they are pushing people very hard, because if the next time, the next round of financing, they have a good valuation, they don't need to work anymore. So they don't need to play the long game. They can play the short game. And it's still rewarding, for them.
So when did you left that previous job?
June this year.
June this year. So it's quite fresh. We're at end of October as we're filming here. So that's only about 4 or 5 months since you left.
Yeah, 4 months. And I spent a month back in China. So only 3 months building my own stuff. Yeah.
So how has it been? What have you learned so far from that process?
Yeah, my answer to how have been recently are there are ups and downs. I
Of
think it's
course,
a great
as life
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great answer, right? If you're interested, you may ask what are the ups and what are the downs. If you're not interested,
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
okay, sounds good. Let's move on. I think it's a great answer. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I'm interested in the ups and downs.
so tell me more. We can start with downs and then we can go to the up. Let's talk about what has been not working for you and what's been working.
Yeah, you won't have time for the ups.
Let's keep you top three. What was the
Yeah,
most struggles you had?
I can almost guarantee that. I think being in the wild is not easy,
Hmm.
and it's certainly harder than I expected. And
Right,
that's for sure. I think there are a lot of great words, right, for these kind of traits. For example, grit, perseverance, whatever you call it. It all describe your drive or determination in the face of challenges, right?
right.
For example, if you post a video and you only have
That
like
flopped.
10 views or 5 views, and yeah, can you put up your efforts and invest substantial amounts of time to
Hmm.
do another one
Right.
to improve like even a little bit? I mean,
Hmm.
it's hard. It's
It
kind
is.
of a test to who you really are and what
Mhm.
you really want to do and a sense of purpose. I know it's not many people's favorite word, but I think it's true, a sense of purpose for anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think also how bad do you want this?
Yeah. Yeah. There could be two components, right? The
Hmm.
first one is, do you feel happy doing whatever you do, right?
Right.
There's another component is, do you feel you are in service of greater good
Hmm.
and in service of something larger than you? Not larger than you, but greater than you. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think there could be two components, and the intersection or wherever these two marry could be a sweet spot. But I'm still keep trying to look for it.
So, have there been moments that you felt that you helped someone or you're serving something that's greater than you so far?
Yeah, yeah, once and twice. There was one episode. I think I talk about my experience with psychotherapy,
Hmm.
and I think it's really, really good for me personally. I think
Right.
if anyone watch that episode
Hmm.
and they decide to improve their mental health with whatever service available
Yeah.
to them, it could be something, yeah, of great value to me. I think it's kind of helping the world become a better place. I know it's a cliche, but I really believe it.
Hey, if we're in all this creative world, everyone think we could make this world better. That's why we're doing this, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you make yourself rich, you make the world a better place, right? Because the good people are richer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, something like that.
So sounds like you were sharing your experience meeting a psychotherapy and then you wanted people to see that video and think, oh, this could help me in turns help themselves. Is that what you're trying to convey? To share your experience and then help other people to learn.
Yeah, that's from my own experience. When I was in in 2024, late 2024,
Hmm.
and I was struggling with my old job, and I don't know what's going on, and it just felt terrible, and I have nowhere to go, no one to talk to,
Mm.
and suddenly I heard a podcast, and
Hmm.
it was like a newcomer podcast to Canada.
Right.
Yeah, like a British girl was the host, and
Hmm.
invited like a Spanish psychotherapist to
Right.
discuss some of the mental health problems faced by newcomers. I
Hmm.
just the feeling, the kind of the safe space that
Right.
the therapist created on the even on the podcast is not a customized thing. It's
Yeah.
just a podcast. See if something it just clicked. It just
Yeah. Right.
clicked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the stuff I was dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, so I just decided to have a go, and it's great. It's life-changing.
And have you been seeing a therapist since then, or is it like on a regular basis?
Yeah, the first I went to a small clinic, and it was not an enjoyable experience. I think the therapist was quite young,
Right.
and she does not understand the spirit. She just copy the techniques.
Yeah, the
Sometimes you
system
know that.
that they follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you know that, right? It's just a job. I will do whatever on my list, and we will call it a day. Yeah, and that didn't last long. But the other one I tried was so great. It was like life-changing, or at least mind-blowing. Yeah.
Wow. So I guess I'm curious, what are the top 3 things you learned from those sessions then? Do you mind sharing your experience?
Top 3, maybe there's a thing or two. Yeah, so I just, with the help of my therapist, I just came to the conclusion that I was never heard in my life, right? I was
Like
never
from when you're
seen.
little.
Yeah, definitely.
Not in the family, not in the job.
Yeah, 100%. Not seen, not held, not heard. The whole package, my whole life. And I just see things from a new perspective. And I just keep reviewing whatever I take for granted, what my strong beliefs, are they still true or not? And yeah, some stay, some didn't. So yeah, so that's the new reality. And it also drove me to quit my job because I think I came to the epiphany that something like there are so many ways to live, and doing the great job, making the most amount of money, supporting your family for luxury stuff are not the only way. It's just one of the ways.
Right.
And you have maybe a million other ways to go, and maybe it's time to have a go. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I decided to quit my job and run into the wild.
Because I know you have family and a really young child.
Yeah.
So it must be very tough when you want to decide, hey, I'm going to quit this job and starting something new. Because of course, building your own business, it takes a while. It's not going to happen in like a month or two. It might take a year or two. Did you have some financial stability or buffer or you had a discussion with your family? How is that going to pan out in the next few years?
Yeah, it's a hard question. It's hard. But long story short, I have some savings.
Okay.
That's part of the support system.
Right.
And secondly, my wife works.
That's
and
good.
She's somehow support me in some way. Yeah. So yeah. And I have a great support system to help me get through some of the challenges. And on the kids front, I think it's a whole package, right?
Right.
When you quit your job, it becomes a result of a change of your mindset, and it came with a whole package. It's just now how you deal with your job. It's how you deal with your family, how you deal with your parents, how you deal with your friends. Everything is linked, right? For example, my dream is not to support my wife or my son. Definitely. Okay. It was my dream, definitely.
Yeah.
And they are buddies that help me to go near my dream. Yeah, they are not my dream per se, right? I think in the past there is a kind of a traditional mindset. I don't know, it's just a Chinese thing or Asian thing. I don't know, but I did have this kind of mentality or mindset that a man should provide, a man should sacrifice whatever his dream is and support his family. His wife should have the great luxury bags. Your son should go to private schools. And yeah, it's no longer the case for me. I don't believe it. I believe if you sacrifice your own life for your family,
Mm-hmm.
it's not fair even to them, because
Mhm.
how could they repay you for that kind of sacrifice you do voluntarily?
Right.
Yeah,
And there's sort of like people feel that they give so much to the family and people around them, and they hold this grudges like, why can you do the same thing to me? Or I'm giving so much, and just you feel like imbalanced in life. And it comes
yeah.
out at the words you say, things you do, and it's not healthy. It's gonna become toxic, moving forward for sure.
Yeah, 100%. If I made all kinds of sacrifice, you
Uh-huh.
have to listen to me, right?
Right, right.
You have to listen to me when you choose your major. You have to listen to me when you choose which city you are gonna settle. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of the whole package, right? You
Uh-huh.
don't sacrifice them for nothing. You want the influence, the power, whatever you truly want. I don't subscribe to that belief anymore.
I think it was a lot of it from our previous generation, our parents, how they worked so hard. They felt like they sacrificed a lot for the family. Either the mom is a stay home mom or the dad always work. They're never home to take care of the kids or talk to them. And they
Yeah.
feel like, oh, I did so much for you, or for this home, you should listen to me for everything you're deciding for your life. I see that
Yeah,
a lot in my parents' generation, kind of pulling
yeah,
to us.
yeah. It's not logically sound, right? Who asked you to make all these sacrifices? You just do it on your own, and now you want to trade it for something.
They'll
You
be like
want
so
to,
sad. Like, how could you say that to me? I did so much for you and you're not appreciating that?
yeah, yeah, 100%. There is kind of a popular theory in China called the labor guy mindset, right?
Labor guy mindset?
Yeah,
What is in Chinese?
立功思维.
立功思维.
It just describes kind of mindset for men, at least some Chinese men.
Right.
So they work there up and they accumulate some savings. They
Mm-hmm.
pay some woman so that they would marry him and yeah, have kids. I think even many people in the white collar classes have
Mm-hmm.
that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just how the society works, and it pushes you into that direction, whatever your mind was. When I was in Hong Kong, maybe 5 or 4 years after I graduate, my boss offered me a great job,
Mm-hmm.
promotions, a lot of money. But the price you're going to pay is to work 24/7 nonstop and to be
Uh-huh.
on call all the
Right.
time. So, yeah, and they don't believe there's another way. They believe you want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people cannot get a great job because the competition is fierce, so that you feel rewarded, you feel superior when you are in kind of this labor position,
Right.
so that you feel I work my tail off so
Uh-huh.
that I can be a labor, right? I can support my family, I can buy their luxury stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's why I was a labor for maybe 4 or 5 years
Mm-hmm.
before I came to the epiphany that it's not the only way.
So once you decided I'm not gonna work for anybody else, have you set out a plan for yourself to start working for your own time, your own vision?
A goal, yeah, goal is necessary.
Or I don't know, idea?
I have one now. I didn't have one like 3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just in the wild. I just looking for possibilities, right?
Uh-huh.
Whatever things I can explore. So yeah, I think yeah, when I was new to the wild, I didn't have too much plans.
Mhm.
Like 3 or 4 options, and I will explore them one by one, see if any of them are feasible or
Mhm.
not. Then I will eliminate like 1 or 2 and keep 1 or 2 in the equation and set a goal. That's my new practice, but I just started, so nothing much to show off for the moment.
Would you like to share like a brief overview of what kind of goal you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to go to so detail,
Yeah, just
but
overview broadly.
yeah, maybe like I will make say 3 videos and I will publish them and I will get myself like X amount of subscribers And I
Okay.
will use these videos, use
Mhm.
these subs to get more guests. That's kind of the loop I have in
Okay.
mind. Yeah.
So you're looking to invite, because I know you're also doing interview podcasts. So you're looking to invite more guests into your channel by, having more influence online.
Yeah. One thing is kind of epiphany for me. Something I learned in the hard way that the audience need proof
Mm-hmm.
to look at to watch your content. For example, hey, I'm a coach. I teach people to make 7 figures a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is their first like 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
People now have a reason to stay, right? If I say,
Right.
hey, I teach people to get rich. Yeah, yeah, the retention rate will be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, the attention game is necessary. It's a necessary evil. I mean, even on YouTube. That's
Uh-huh.
why I need high-profile guests. All
Mm-hmm.
guests have already made some huge achievements. Yeah, and I marry that to like a subset of them that are willing to work with me. So that's
Mm.
kind of the guests I have in mind.
That's interesting because that's, I guess, one way of get attention and having social proof and having proof that you've done this and you want to help other people or attract other people to your channel. There's also, I think, people who interview, this is my opinion, sometimes you just interview people who are underserved. They talk about their life, how they came to be. Sometimes it's just about the story, how you tell the story instead of how influential they are in the industry.
Yeah,
So I do know that the first 30 seconds, 10 seconds in YouTube is very important to track people and stay. But a
yeah,
lot of it, people talk about storyline. Like, how do you tell a story? How do you hook people into the content? I feel
yeah,
like for me, it's not so much about how influential the person or how big of achievement they have made. It's more about, do I find this person interesting to talk to?
yeah,
Someone like me, do I want to know about their story like you, who have been just in Canada for 2 years? You quit your job, you're struggling with probably communication with your family, parents.
yeah.
Like, I think that's the story of a lot of people currently, especially in this society in Canada right now. And people will be interested to know about your story, even though you might not have achieved something really, major yet.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot of components, right?
Mm.
Either you have achieved something, or either you have some feelings or emotions that you
Right.
want to convey, right? The strong feelings and the emotions are also could help you gain some traffic or attention. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't want to be sound too results driven, but yeah, but if you are looking for results, that's kind
Uh-huh.
of the mindset. Yeah, and if you have very extreme opinions on something,
Mhm.
or at least strong opinion of something, you may gain a lot of traffic or attention.
Mhm.
But if traffic or attention is not what they are doing this for, it's like you are creating an art, right? So
Mhm.
art does not need instant audience or instant traffic.
Mhm.
Then it could be a more slow process. It's more nothing demanding.
And you said that when you quit your job, like it's a whole package. It's the family, the friends, your parents. How have you been dealing with that, or how has it been a success, or you're still just a working in progress?
I have to touch upon the life coach part of me
Right.
because learning the life coaching course did help me become a better husband, a better father. That's in my view, at least. Yeah,
Does your wife agree with that?
yeah. Maybe we should get her on the Mac.
It could be a podcast that you're talking to her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at least I don't want to be sound too overly optimistic, but it revolutionized my communication style.
Mhm.
It's like, it's mind blowing. Sorry.
That word, it will be like mind blowing change or transition in
Yeah,
Tomo's
it's
life.
revolutionary. Yeah, it's more about to listen. And
Mhm.
then I think that is part of the component that is missing in a lot of families, not only
Right.
Chinese families, maybe
Mhm.
other. Yeah, it's kind of a universal thing, right?
Right.
Because the parents are already, the husband or the parents are already exhausted with work, right?
Mhm.
They are dealing with their own stuff. So do they have the capacity to listen to others, to have that kind of intrinsic curiosity about others? I think that's kind of the cornerstone of every healthy relationship. Yeah, that's my strong belief now. Yeah, in the past, I didn't listen. I just wait for my turn to speak. Yeah, of course, I listen a little bit, right? I cannot go off topic. I cannot say, you say apple, I say orange. I have to say apple is what, but I didn't listen. I just pretend to listen. I listen like 10% of the key words of what you are saying. And now from the life coaching session, I just know you have to have that kind of intrinsic curiosity in people. Could you ask questions that let people or let your partner or let your kids to express their feelings, to tell their whole story, basically? Then you can decide if you want to go mad, right? Or you want to go defensive. You have to go through the whole process. Yeah, one example I can give is, yeah, in the past, if my wife is saying something that is gonna irritate me, I will start the confrontation very soon, right? But now I will ask at least 3 questions to let her finish the whole story. Maybe he has some beliefs beneath. And once I know, wow, maybe 2 of the arguments are just a misunderstanding. Maybe I can just to quash that kind of misunderstanding with a few facts or a few clear arguments. We won't have an argument at all.
So what are the 3 questions you ask her then?
Yeah, maybe we can do a demo if you like.
Okay. I'm gonna be your wife, web wife.
Yeah, you say something harsh.
Why don't you take the trash out today? I was really mad. I told you so.
Yeah. It's a great one. Yeah, let me think about it. Yeah, so you're already on the blaming mode, right?
Yeah, I was like, why don't you do that? I already told
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's a hard one because it's once you are in the blaming, there's some context. When did you tell me to grab the trash?
Like I told you in the morning. It's like, oh, when you go out this morning, make sure you bring the trash out. And then when I get home at night, after a whole day of work, trash still at the front of our door. It's still not being thrown out. So it's like I was so tired and I feel like I told you so. Do I have to throw this out now? Why don't you do what I asked you to do? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you are in the blaming mode, what I can do, maybe I will have to start explaining. Yeah, for example, I will have to find a strong argument. For example, yeah, I know. Yeah, first I will recognize her feelings, right? You are angry because the trash are not still within the home, right? Yeah, what I want to add is,
if you learned something new so far, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so it can produce more content like this for you.
yeah, I had this huge client call me like 10 a.m. today and asked me to do a urgent project, which will generates like 1,000 income for our family. And I did it nonstop. I just wrap up the project like 5 minutes ago. And yeah, hope you can forgive me. And once I have time, I will deal with it ASAP. Yeah, that could be my solution now.
Okay.
And yeah, once you are in blaming mode, it's difficult to ask question because it seems that it's just my problem, my responsibility, and it's difficult to ask question in that scenarios. But yeah,
Okay. Can I offer another way that in my situation, I would think that
sure.
would be a better maybe solution for that
Yeah.
from a girl's perspective? I think if someone like me or like a girl said that, oh, I asked you to do this, you didn't do that for me. It's more like I feel hurt because I was not heard. Because I tell you what I needed, but what I need was not respected or taken care of.
Yeah.
And then I understand that you said, something's more important. I got distracted with other work. But then when you mentioned about, hey, I have this super big project generating so much money, that makes me feel like you consider work and finances more important than me and how I feel.
Yeah.
So in this, I might come into like a comeback mode. It's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Is that is your work more important than me? So I feel like in that situation, the best say like you didn't do it intentionally. You didn't want to do that. And the girl is already in attack mode. Maybe you could say, oh, sorry, honey, I totally forgot that I was in a really big meeting. Let me do it right now. So you go and throw the trash right now and you come back. So she's calmed down. Okay, the work has been done. He's not doing it intentionally. Then you come back and talk to her. What you said kind of hurt me because I didn't mean to do that. Explain, you did the work. That's already done. And then say to her, what the words you used was not really working for me. I felt a little bit taken back. And the reason, what happened, why I did not do that. And I feel like that makes it a more calmer situation. So there's not comparing. The work has been done. And she felt, okay, he hurt me. He didn't do it intentionally. Then what I said, it probably hurt him because I was in comeback mode. I was attacking him too. And then both of you guys might be in a more collaborative mode. Then that's my take.
Yeah, but because the situation is difficult to handle because that is
Yes.
my own responsibility, right? There's nothing left for misunderstanding unless I have this huge medical condition, which is not in the equation anymore.
The solution that I offered, what do you think about that? Do you think might work, or it's not going to be, realistic?
Yeah, I think there's some commonality, right? So basically, you have to recognize whoever's angry, she or his feelings. I think that's the most important part.
Mhm.
And when you do it, like after the conversation or before the conversation, I think it could be dependent on the person's personality. But I think I do recognize that you have to, validate their feelings. They are angry for a reason. That's something I feel deeply to be necessary.
So from what your wife has been, I guess, having conversation with you, you felt that it's a lot smoother. You're not in comeback mode most of the time. You guys can have a very normal conversations without, getting back to each other kind of thing.
Yeah, sometimes I look at from a source perspective. Yeah, if my wife is angry, and it's maybe the direct source of the anger is the trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there could be something beneath it, like the job, the boss,
Mm-hmm.
and the exhausting commute, whatever is that.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I will try to unpack that, but that depends on people. Some people don't want you to unpack at the moment. They want to unpack maybe
Later.
2 hours later. Yeah. So yeah, depends on the level of anger, right? If she's about to burst, yeah, maybe I can unpack. But if she's already on the full fight mode, there's no way we can unpack. So yeah, depends on the level of anger. In daily lives, there could be a lot of scenarios. There could be misunderstanding. So I will ask her assumptions. And some of them assumptions are not right. I won't attack whatever her assumptions are, but I will just tell them her assumption is not right in a very calm, soothing way so that alleviate some of her anger for sure. And I won't be angry at all, as well, because I know her anger is just not towards me. It's because some kind of misunderstanding. So I think it's a win-win.
That situation, what do you think she could say that could be better? That you're
The
not going to
trash,
be, yeah,
the
like, so, yeah, so she saw that and she felt, maybe not as heard as she could be. What could she say to you to resolve that situation better?
it's a lot better in her position to ask questions. For example, it's not why didn't you,
Mm-hmm.
throw away the trash. Is what got in the way, right? Curious about why.
Mm-hmm.
And if I give like a whole explanation and still doesn't satisfy her, she got the right to be angry, right? But before that, maybe there's some misunderstanding here,
Uh-huh.
and it's not worth to fight the World War III for some misunderstandings. Yeah.
I'm curious because I feel like, yes, of course, the thing is probably not the garbage,
Yeah.
but what I heard that you want to explain yourself, why it happened. What's the reason you think explaining yourself is better than just getting the trash out right at that moment?
Yeah, because you mentioned people, they are angry, not because the trash per se, right? Because
Mm,
you didn't follow my instructions and you should have done that, right?
mhm,
If you haven't done that, you must have a very, very good reason for that,
mhm.
unless we are gonna fight. So if I have a very good reason, the
Uh-huh.
fight will never happen. I think there's a million ways to do it. And it depends on the person. Some people don't want explanation. Some people just want to deal with the situation. I don't want to say solutions, but there are different keys to the question.
Communication styles, right? Depends on how you two communicate with each other. Cause that
Yeah,
she might be either of you might be more logical
yeah,
and you want a reason first and then deal with the stuff. Some people want to just get it done and then deal with it later. It's all
yeah,
preferences between couples, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think a framework that I've heard in nonviolent communication, I'm not sure you read that book before, that there's a framework in there to be more neutral and in conversation instead of people combating and like fight back right away is just state what you have seen. Say in that situation, I could say, "Oh, I see the trash is still outside the door. I felt maybe a little bit hurt," or like just explain what I feel at that moment, or I feel just really tired. And can you, or how is your day? Like what happened? Like I could be in that situation instead of saying, why didn't you do that? I just simply stating, oh, the trash is still there. How I felt.
yeah.
And I could talk to you and ask a question. Then both of you are in more conversation mode instead of blaming mode.
Yeah, I think it's my summary of being heard or to be heard, to be seen, to be held is you have to find a way to express that whatever the other people are thinking, are feeling, are
Hmm.
reasonable and understandable. And your whole package, your whole behavior, your tones have to match that kind of belief. I think that's my summary of hurt others. And her anger is definitely reasonable, right? And I have to find a way to express that I acknowledge that. If she has a similar mindset, she will ask me, why did you do that in a curious way, right? Not a blaming way. Maybe when I explain, she will find a way to express that, oh, I understand your action, your feeling, or your decisions.
Hmm.
And she will act based on the belief that these decisions are reasonable. I think it's a great way to deal with practically anyone.
Shift gear back to your work and how that has been. So you said you're kind of trying to do more podcasts because before you were doing in the Chinese platform, now you're shifting more into English speaking guests.
Yeah.
How has that had been? Have you started talking to people in the English speaking kind of industry?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I think one of the reasons is my English channel does not have a substantial subscriber base. I think means like, yeah, if you have 10K subscribers or you have
Mm-hmm.
20K subscribers, you
Mm-hmm.
can pretty much, invite anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people need the numbers and but they may need to see some of your content. It's like chicken and egg problem dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's hard. I plan to launch something very soon, so stay tuned.
What kind of guests are you like, or in what industry are you trying to invite to your show?
The first, yeah, I plan to do a finance related
Mm-hmm.
channel. And there's another project I'm working on is to do a clarity related channel.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity in the sense of mentoring coaches, yeah, cohesion coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and maybe psychotherapists. Yeah, yeah, there's endless possibilities, but I
Mm-hmm.
think these two channels has to be separate. Yeah, that's
Oh,
my
two
strong
separate.
belief.
Okay. And how are you like doing financially? How are you getting payout from, have you been paid out from all the work that you've been doing so far on social media?
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of monetization mode, right? You can sell your product or you can sell others' product for commission.
Mhm.
You can, yeah. So there's a lot of possibilities.
Have you generated any income from those sources that you mentioned so far?
Yeah, I plan to launch the channel very soon, so nothing yet.
Is that different from what your current channel is?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's a completely new one. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a new one. Yeah, currently on my Chinese channel, I produce a mixture of contents. For
Mhm.
example, clarity stuff, finance stuff. Yeah, maybe just story, personal story. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a great channel for self
Mhm.
expression,
Right.
but it's not a great way to do business. So yeah, I plan to launch 2 channels just for business.
I see. And then what are the advice you give to people who I guess are thinking about maybe quit their job or starting their own business or struggling and not sure what they want to do? What are the advice you could give to them?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because as a coach, I was trained
To not give
to
advice?
not give advice, because if I give you an advice that is not consistent with your belief or your
Mhm.
values,
Right.
you wouldn't follow that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you will ignore it if you are in your in your good days. You
Right.
will hate me in your bad days because yeah, right. So yeah, I think it truly makes sense. But yeah, one thing I can advise is that yeah, maybe you should get a therapist. Maybe you should get a coach,
Mhm.
or maybe you can just try it out, right?
Mhm.
And it's really great. Whatever you are doing, if you are starting your own business, you need that kind of support and kind of accountability.
And for the therapist and coaching ground, what do you see the difference are for the both parties? Differentiating them. Why do you think they need either or?
Yeah, psychotherapy is more about healing,
Mm.
to understand why you feel that way, to understand some of the trauma, I
Mhm.
think. And coaches can help you with other things, but most of them are to move forward, right?
Right.
If you want to create a YouTube channel, you can get a YouTube channel coach.
Mhm.
If you want to learn some language, you can get a coach to do that with that kind of expertise. Yeah,
Mhm.
basically they can help you with whatever you want to do. But uh, yeah, there are some major components that to keep in mind. You have to want to change. If you are happy wherever you are, you don't need a coach. The second is, do you have the willingness
Mhm.
to change, right? Yeah, if you want to change but you don't have the willpower to do it, you are not coachable at the moment, right? I think that's the gist of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, one thing I'm truly fascinated, recently is there's growth mindset, right? And there's fixed mindset. Growth
Fixed mindset?
mindset,
All right.
yeah, fixed. Yeah, for people with a growth mindset, they believe everything can be changed for the better. They can improve on anything, right?
Right.
And people with a fixed mindset will believe, oh, that's who I am.
Mhm.
That's all I can offer. That's the
Mhm.
best I can do,
Right.
and you cannot ask more from me anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not saying people with a fixed mindset are evil or whatever, but it's difficult to coach people with a fixed mindset.
For sure. That's awesome. That's great advice. So we have this tradition in our show, which I took from Diary of CEO. The previous guests have a question for our next guest.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So the previous guests have this question for you. If you have only one day left in your life, what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's a great one. I can do a combination of different things, right?
Uh-huh.
Or I have to choose one thing.
Like, one day, how would you like to spend that day?
Yeah, it's a great question. I will probably spend half or maybe a majority of the day with my son and my wife.
Mm,
Definitely.
mm,
Yeah, to get whatever business settled.
You'll worry about business on your last day on Earth.
No, not that kind of business, like family business stuff. Yeah. And yeah, maybe I will do a recording or some kind of video about my parting words, final words to the world.
Wisdom for them.
Not necessary to be a wisdom thing. Yeah, but to be whatever final message I have for the world. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. And what question would you want to give to our next guest?
Yeah, it has to be applied to any industry, right? Because
Anything. Yeah, anything maybe you want to have an answer for.
yeah, I have this one. Yeah, people have different core values, right? You can name like 40, 50 core values. Name 5 that you believe are those are necessary to you, that you wouldn't give up under anything. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the question.
Could be an interesting conversation.
All right. Thank you for the question, and thank you for coming to the show, Thomas.
Thanks for having me.
If you liked this episode, you might also like this one.